everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be discussing some books that I'm really excited about. And those are the Kindling Flames books. The first one is called Gathering Tinder and the second one is called Flying Sparks. I'm only supposed to be reviewing this one. I'm gonna throw this one in as well because I am just too darn excited. These are written by Julie Wetzel and I was sent these as a part of a Lovingdom Books booktube tour. And I will leave all information about these linked down below in case you're curious, and also stay tuned to the end of this video because there will indeed be a giveaway. So my thoughts on these books. These books were so much better than I expected them to be, and I only say that because they were advertised as paranormal romance, and I thought that I was done with that phase of my life. Boy, was I wrong. I love me some vampire lovin', and I am not ashamed to admit it. So I'm going to describe these books in probably the worst way possible, and I hope I don't offend anybody, but it's how I view them. I think that this series is the love child between Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey. And you're looking at me like you're crazy because 50 Shades of Grey is a really messed up, kinky BDSM version of Twilight. It's fan fiction of Twilight, right? You're right. I think that this kind of takes away the best of both of those series and combines them. It does not have all the really weird, abusive BDSM sex that 50 Shades of Grey has, and it does not have all of the teenage angst and drama that Twilight has. This has everything that you want both of those to have, and that's a horrible description of these. I apologize profusely for that, but I just think that it was kind of the best of both worlds. So we start this first book, and we are meeting Vicky Westernly, and she is fresh out of college, and she gets hired on as a personal assistant to a very, very rich businessman. We're getting the 50 Shades vibes there. As we progress through the story, we obviously find out that Darian, the very, very rich businessman, is also a very important and very old vampire. There's the Twilight. And that's pretty much where the similarities stop, guys. I'm going to stop comparing it to those because that's a horrible thing to compare books to. But I just loved this series. I binge read through both of these. I didn't plan on it. I was planning on just reading the first one and reviewing it. I immediately picked up the second one because that's how good they were. These books are the type of books where you're like, I'm gonna sit down and read like a chapter or two and then 4 hours go by and you finish the book. It's one of those series. I just really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the characters. You get introduced to more characters in the second book that I just loved even more. I love Zach. If you haven't read the second one, I'm not going to spoil anything. Zach is like my favorite character in these. As far as the actual plot and story goes, it's pretty standard as far as romance goes. She starts working for him, they have tender feelings for each other, and it progresses from there. What I thought was really interesting about these books was the world building of the paranormal aspects. This is one of those paranormal worlds where it's kind of all-inclusive. We have the vampires, we have werewolves, we have fae, and we have some other stuff being thrown in there. And I always like seeing how those are done. I really liked the, just basically learning about this world. I liked the dynamics. I liked that she brought up the fact that a group of vampires is called a kiss. I thought that was very interesting. And I like always seeing the different versions of vampires that appear in series, and I feel like this version is a very realistic version. I'm saying this like vampires are real. I'm saying this because it's a much more believable version of vampires versus vampires that sparkle in the sunlight. I just really liked learning about the series. I also really liked that this is technically, I guess, would be new adult, which I'm very into because it does not read young. And it's also being told from the perspective of a 20-something-year-old, which I am, so I can always appreciate being thrown into the adult world and not quite knowing how to handle situations yet. I just really like reading books like that, and these were definitely it for me. So I honestly have nothing bad to say about these books. I just flew through them, and they were so enjoyable to read, and if that sounds at all appealing, I highly recommend picking these up. You can get ebooks online for really cheap, and just read these books. I think they were great. Now there's also a giveaway being hosted along with this tour, and you can click the link down below to enter it. You can win a Fancy Pants swag pack for this series, and if you want to gain entries to it, you can also purchase this first book. It can be an ebook, which is always cheaper. It can be an ebook, a physical book, it doesn't matter where you get it from, you just have to send verification, either a picture of your receipt or a verification email to Grace over at loveanddumbooks@gmail.com. I will leave that linked down below, but you gain 5 extra entries into winning the swag pack, which I'm kind of jealous of because I kind of want a swag pack now for the series, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably going to order the rest of this series. That's how much I liked it. And that's not me just like saying that for the sake of this review. I actually really liked these books. So, I'm gonna stop rambling about these books because I feel like it's getting redundant at this point, but read these books. No, seriously, read them. They're really good. So that's gonna be it for me in this video. I hope you guys are somewhat interested in the series. We really need to help out this author because she's awesome. That's gonna be it for me this video. I hope you guys are reading some amazing books, and I will see you guys next time.